In this video, we'll discuss Microsoft 365 users information, how you can add a new user, how you can delete the existing user, and what are the settings available for the users we'll discuss in this video. Now, I am here in the Microsoft 365 homepage. To see all the apps, you can hit this app launcher. In the app launcher, we can able to see Outlook, OneDrive, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint, Teams, Power Automate, Yammer, and also we have admin centers option here. If you want to see all the apps, there is a all apps option here. Click this one and you can able to see all the apps, Office 365 apps. You can see add-ins, admin, bookings, calendar, delve. Plenty of options are also available here. So in this, if you want to go to any of the admin centers, then we have to click this one. This is the admin. So when you click this one, it will go to the admin page, and you can see the URL is admin.microsoft.com, and this is about the authentication related information. In this, we can able to see the users option here. When you click this option, and you can able to see active users, contacts, guest users, and deleted users. Total 4 options is available. We'll check first active users. When you see the active users in this tenant, now I have 2 active users here with the different licenses. So this is for Office 365 E3 license, and this one for the Microsoft Power Automate plus Office 365 E3, both licenses is available for this particular account. And here we have option to add the users, and you can able to see the user templates. And if you want to add the multiple users at a time, you can, and you can enable the multi-factor authentication for the users, or if you want to delete any user, you can able to delete from here. So this is simple refresh button, and this is filter. If you want to search, if you want to filter the users, if you have hundreds of users, if you want to filter the users, you can able to do that from here. So from here you can able to add the user. When you click add user, here we have an option to enter the username. So I am entering a username called as Office, first name, and the last name I am giving user. The display name automatically renders with the first name and the last name. If you don't like to give like this, you can change this one with the like if you want to put this name in the first, this name in the last, you can change the order as well. Now I'm here. Finally, username is optional and it's not directly getting from the display name or a first name. You can give, I'm just giving as Office 365 user, so for that I'm just giving O user, and it's checking the availability. Now the availability is there, and this is about the domains, and I have only one domain, so that's why I can able to see the domain name here. If you have 2 to 3 domains registered, and you can able to see the other domains also. Now here we have an option automatically creates a password, or you can create a password also. When you click automatically create a password, and then it will generate a password, and that will send password in an email upon the completion. If you click this one, to whom you want to send, so it is going to send that password to this particular email. So it's going to send when you click this one, and require this user to change their password when they first log in. If you give like this, and they have to they have to change the password, or otherwise if you unselect it, and there is no need to change the password. So we have this first name, last name, display name, username, domains option, and when you click next, it is going to create account and select the location, which location you are in, are the user in. You can select any of the country. If the user in Brazil, and you can select Brazil. If the user in Cambodia, and you can select the Cambodia. And the license part also available here. Now the licenses is 0, and assign user a product license of Microsoft Power Automate free for 9,999, and then you can choose. And we have Office 365 E5 E3 23 of 25. We already have 2, and then if you want to add this user also, you can able to add this user. To increase demand, it may take 24 hours to full setup user in Teams. Until then, no need to worry about this one. We are not going to use this account. Create user product license. If you want to create user product licenses, you can click this one. You can individually assign or directly assign the user product license, and then I'll select this and this, and you can see the apps, how many apps is available, all the apps, and the user got the access. See, all it is selected. Then click next. And what is the role of the user? There is no admin access, only the user. Or if you want to give the admin access, you can select admin center access. We have exchange admin, global administrator, global render, help desk, service support, and so on, so different type of admin centers also available if you want to give, and you need to choose this one and then click next. So when you click next, and you can review the complete user information. Now display name is this, and the user ID is this, and then password is auto generated, and that will send to this particular email, and from there you can give that password to the user. Then user will able to log in, and we are not selected when the user first login to send to change their password, so we no need to worry about that, and user can able to use the same password for first login, second, or whenever he wants to change, he can able to change. Until that, he can able to use that particular account. Next one is product license, and I selected location as India, and the licenses were we given Office 365 E3 and Power Automate free, and this is the apps information, and this is about common data service teams, 25 more so and so applications we have. And the role of the user is he have an a user role, and he don't have an admin rights. Of course, if you want to give that, you can able to change from here also. And finally, profile info, none provided, we are not provided any profile info. When we click this finish adding, and it will add the user to the Office 365 users. Now you can able to see user details from here, and everything it is showing here, and license is assigned 365 E3 and the Microsoft Power Automate free, and these are the user settings we did for this user. If you want to save this as a template, which means if you save this as a template, whenever you are creating a new user, then it will be helpful. Now I'm just giving as a test template, and description is uh, we are testing this template. Make this template available to other admins who manage the users. Yes, we'll save this template. Now the template is saved, and we are done with everything. Just click close. Okay, we are done, and the user is created here. If you want to modify any of the settings for this user, you can able to do from here. We have manage product licenses, manage groups, or if you want to edit the username, or if you want to delete the user, you can do it from here. For example, if you want to modify the licenses, click that, and you can able to see here the location and the licenses we assigned. You can able to see that, and then account information you can see from here, user name and email address alias, and then last sign in, you can able to see the sign out option. Alternative email ID, we are not taken anything, and the user is not into any groups. If you want to add the user into groups, you can hit manage groups, and then currently we don't have any groups, so that's why it's not showing. If we have groups, and you can able to, so anyhow it's not required. When you have users and you have the groups, you can able to add this user into a specific group from there. And also, if you want to reset the password for this particular user, maybe user forgot the password, he's not able to reset, and we can able to reset the password from here. And we discussed about the managed product licenses, and the groups also available inside that. If you want to edit the username also, you can able to do the username changes, but currently this is fine. And then okay, we'll discuss about deleting this user. For example, there is a employee joined in your company, you added that username here, and later after some days, maybe that employee left the organization. You want to delete that particular user, you can come here and you can click delete user, and from this manner you can able to delete the user. Before deleting this, it will ask couple of questions. One is email alias will be removed. Yes, we want to remove that, and it is loading, we'll wait for that. And mailbox delete permissions will be removed, no mailbox delete permissions. And then give another user access to office users OneDrive for files for 30 days after the user is deleted. And these are the options. The team setup is in progress for office user. If you restore this user later, team setup must be started again. Okay, so we don't want that. If you want to give another user access to the email user's email, no, I don't want to give. If you want to give, you can select this option anyhow. So these are the options are available, then you can click delete. So once you click delete, this user account will be deleted from Office 365 users. See, user account is deleted. You can restore the deleted users and recover their data except for a calendar items and alias for 30 days from the deleted user, which means this user account still available another 30 days in the deleted users. Okay, the license is also assigned, which will be not available to this user because the account is deleted. You can close this one. So once you delete that, if you want to see that user, you can able to see that user from here. See, the user is still available in the deleted users. You can select this one. Once you select this user, now we have an option to restore user. If you restore this user, the user will be available in the active users. So this way, if you restrict unfortunate deletions, for example, the user is deleted some account, but actually he wants to delete some other account. So what happens when he deletes, the end user still in the company, he's not able to access that one. If you want to restore that, you have to come back to the deleted users and then click restore. Then this user will be available again in the organization. So this is about guest users. If you want to add any guest user, you can add from here. Click this one. When you click this one, it redirects to the Azure Active Directory. So not in the Microsoft 365. And if you want to create any guest user, that will go to the Azure Active Directory. From there, you can able to invite the user. See, if you want to create a user, you click this one, or if you want to invite a user, you can able to click this one. So when you click invite user, you can able to give any domain address, which means external domains, maybe Gmail, maybe Outlook, something like that. But if you want to create a user for as a guest account, and you need to use this domain only, the domain which you registered, and the other domains, if you have, you can able to search. Otherwise it will not take something like gmail.com. If you enter and if you press enter, this will not accept. You cannot able to see that add option here. So this is a username, and here you can give the name, first name, last name option is available. And if you want to add the user into groups, yes. And if you want to black the sign in, you can click yes. You just add and you can click yes. And this is about user location, job title, department. These are the properties, but these are not mandatory. Only the username and the name is mandatory when you create any guest user. So that is about creating a guest users. And this one is contacts, the first one we discussed. And now currently I'm not created any contacts. Contacts are people outside your organization that you would like everyone to be able to find. Anyone listed here can be found in Outlook under people in Microsoft 365. But the contacts only available when you try to send an email, and when you try to fetch from the teams, you can able to search for that user, but you don't have any access on that particular user. It's just a kind of phone contact. When you try to search for the user, you can able to see that user, but the user is not available in the organization. You don't have any access to that particular account from the Microsoft 365. It's just for the contacts. So under user total, we have four options. Active users that we discussed, how we can see the active users, how we can create a users. And the second option is contacts. You can keep the list of the contacts only when you are trying to send an email, when you try to fetch the username from the teams. The next one is guest users. If you want to add the guest users to your environment other than your domain, you can use this guest users. The last one is deleted users. If you use a deleted users, if somebody unfortunately delete any user, you can able to restore from there. And we forgot to discuss about the user templates. We created a user template. See, when I click this, I can able to see the test template is available just before we created. Now when you try to add a user, example, I'm trying to add a user, and I can able to enter the first name, last name, display name, username, and so on, so on, so, and this option is available. And what we'll see is test. I'm trying to create a test user. We'll give test, and display name will come as a test. Now type test. Now we are done with this. When you go to the next, you have this select location. We have the licenses options. You can able to see the licenses option, and then again we have the optional settings and settings and so on. So we can create the user like this. And also, now we last, okay, no problem. Now when I go to the user templates, I have the tester template. When I click this tester template, again it is asking first name, last name, display name, and the username, and send password. It is not asking for the details of the password to generate. Earlier we have password auto generated option here, but we have the manual option. Currently we don't have. It is automatically sending. So what template you want to use? I want to use a test template. If I use a test template, and the description is automatically here, and the created by option is there, and the domain password is auto generated, and even the product licenses also, you don't have the edit option. It automatically giving. The role is also automatically coming. The profile information, we are not provided anything in the template. If you use the template, it is very easy to create a user. You don't need to switch to the total 4 screens. Only single screen you can able to enter the username, last name, display name, and username. That's it. And the email which you are going to send that particular password. So this is advantage with the user templates. It will give you a flexibility to create the user in a single screen, and also it will keep the existing settings which we did when we are creating the template. So if you want to create 100 users, 200 users, and instead of going to the settings page and assigning the licenses, and also selecting the product licenses, user roles, profile information, everything that automatically capture into this particular template, you can simply give the user first name, last name, and then you can able to create the users. So that is the advantage with templates. And we have add multiple users concept. And if you have all the users inside any CSV file, you can add that CSV file here, and also you can assign the licenses at a time. See here, upload CSV file with your user information. So here we have some options to create a CSV file. You can upload up to 249 users per CSV file, and each user must have a unique email address. Remember that if you are giving an email address to the user, if two lines having a same email address, it will not create the users. It passes an error. Email address may only use letters, numbers, and the following special characters, and email addresses can't begin or end with a period of dot or some parentheses, something like that. The part of the email address before the @ symbol can have 64 characters or less, not more than that, and save as a CSV, comma, delimited file with the 16 columns. Remember that. And then browse and upload, click next, and the licenses part will come, and you have to choose the licenses for all these 249 users. Then click next. It will create a multiple users at a time inside your Office 365 users. That is the advantage with the add multiple users. It accepts the CSV file only. The maximum number of users in the CSV file, not greater than 249, less than 249, it will accept. So that is about adding the multiple users. This is multi-factor authentication. If you want to add multi-factor authentication to any of the users, you can able to, but for this user we already did. But we'll click this multi-factor authentication, we'll see. And this is very common. See, when I click multi-factor authentication, I can able to see the users list here and select the user, and then which is already enabled. If it is not enabled, and you have to enable, and select this one, and two users it is already enabled. Otherwise you have to enable. If it is disabled, you have to enable and select the mobile number and also scan the code which multi-factor authentication provides, and then you can utilize that. Anyhow, we'll discuss about the multi-factor authentication in another video. So this video we covered all the information related to the Microsoft 365 users, how we can add, how we can delete, how we can add the multiple users at a time. That's it about this. Thanks for watching.